Hello there guys, you're listening to Ebird Online again, and I'm here with the other half of the tell-all review for Big Ed. And this is 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, the tell-all. So if you haven't seen the first part of this review, I will link it in the bottom, I'll link it in the description below. I virtually start mid-sentence, so it's definitely a good idea to watch that first. Very quickly before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget to click the like button if you enjoy this review. Please don't forget to click the like button. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Ebird99. And then we get on to the question of the STD. Sean asks Ed, does he understand why he was wrong with the STD situation? And he said, I was right to do it, but I asked in the wrong way. And with this point, and this point alone, I think he was correct. I think it's a smart thing to do if you're going to start a sexual relationship with somebody from a different country, or in fact with anybody. It's a smart thing to have an STD test. However, you can't demand one party has an STD test, so you're nice and safe, and Rose isn't allowed to have an STD test, so Rose has no safety whatsoever. You're just ensuring that you are safe. And aside from that being manifestly unfair and uncaring, it's crazy. And apparently you've had no relationships for the past 30 years. Where's your sex been coming from, Ed? It makes you wonder. And so again, Shane didn't bring up the fact that you wanted to make sure you were safe, but you didn't give a crap about Rose. And Tiffany, she doesn't seem to be thinking about it either. And then Ed slips seamlessly into another lie. He said of the STD, she was hiding her past, and so I had a right to ask. Ed, you told us before you even went to the Philippines, I'm going to insist before I have sex with her that she has an STD test. That is what you said. And now very conveniently you put it all onto the fact of she's hiding her past. That's why I had to do it. You planned to do it standing in your bedroom with your little friend at the same time that he told you you needed to speak to Rose about not wanting kids. But guys, what I thought was very amusing with this whole thing was Rose started crying halfway through to help to pile on the pressure. And the more I look at it, the more I think it was a cry of the tearless variety. Nice work, Rose. Nice work if you can get it. And guys, I really hope that she was putting it on. I hope that she wasn't genuinely upset with the way that Ed was treating her and with the lack of support she received from Sean. The real problem with the STDs is that Ed only thought of himself, but Sean didn't pull him up on that at all. And when Rose refused to do it, Ed's behaviour was that of a 2-year-old. Remember, he ran out of the restaurant. And at this point I have to think to myself, Sean, did you watch the show? I have a feeling she didn't, guys. But then Darcey felt sorry for Rose because she was crying, and she dived in again and she said, I'm having flashbacks. We should be treated as goddesses and queens. Men should be treating us with respect. And she said, Big Ed, I understand what you're trying to say, but it's not coming across right. Let Rose move on. I feel like you're chipping away at her. Rose, you're a queen. Stand strong. And guys, you always ask, why do you stick up for Darcey? I stick up for Darcey for things like this because Darcey's heart is in the right place. Does she always do everything that she should be doing? No, of course not. But do you? I know I certainly don't. But what I do know is she has got a heart of gold. And even when she was talking to Ed, she didn't seek to malign him or sneer at him or talk down to him like Tiffany did to Rose. She was just trying to explain to him, you're chipping away at her and I've had similar things happen to me. It's not right. Please stop. And Ed was still saying, well, I think I had the right to ask. You did, but you should have been prepared to do it yourself, Ed, dimwit. But nobody out of all these 16, 17 people, nobody says it. And whilst I really like Darcey, talk of all women should be treated as goddesses and princesses subverts from the true narrative of what she's trying to say, which is, do not chip away consistently at somebody's personality, at somebody's being. That leads to people having low self-esteem. And then they talk about the fact that he didn't want children. And Ed said, well, with hindsight, I should have definitely told her first. Ed, you didn't need hindsight. You had a forethought. Malice aforethought. Your friend stood in your bedroom and told you, let her know that you don't want to have kids. You chose not to because you wanted to have sex with her. Before she knew your real intentions, you sought to lie to her to get her into bed. You told her everything she wanted to hear, a family, a house to live all together. And it was all a lie and all a sham. And then dimwit Avery jumps in and she said, Ed, have you had a lifelong problem with managing to relay information correctly? And Ed said, yeah, I have. I've got a question. Ed, are you the most disgusting, despicable human being ever to have graced the 90 Day Fiance TV show? Yes, I am. And then BGL, baby girl Lisa, said, "Are you gonna sit there and tell me that you genuinely love Rose?" And for once she was right, but of course he lied and he said, "Yeah, I did." And Lisa said, "Did you use Rose? It looks to me like you used her. For you to say all the things that you said to that woman, no American woman would have put up with it. You've cut your own throat with the American woman." And I know I've said a lot about Lisa, but for once, begrudgingly, well done Lisa, because he cut him to the quick. She more or less said, "You're finished out here in these streets." But Ed didn't take very kindly to that, and he loaded his bow with a long arrow. And Ed said, "Baby girl Lisa, why did you send such a negative message by having unprotected sex with Usman?" And Lisa said, "We both got tested before I even left the US, so neither of us had STDs." And then Ed continued, "It was a very negative message, baby girl. You sent a negative message out to the people. Ed, are you freaking listening? She's just told you she was tested." And this is the essence of Ed. This is what he does. He takes one narrative, and however much you prove point by point that not to be true, he just keeps saying the same thing. She's answered you in full. We were both tested, we were both clean, and so having unprotected sex meant nothing. There was no health implication. He doesn't care. He just repeats the same thing again. And it does kind of feel like everyone's going in on Ed at this point. So up steps, who better than Toxic Tom? And so he said, Big Ed, what was it like having a shower with your future father-in-law?" Ed should have said, "I don't know. I just had a shower with the girl I'm shagging's dad. I've no intention of marrying her. Ever." That should have been the answer. But of course he said, "Oh, it was really funny, blah, blah, blah." I stopped listening, guys. Honestly, I stopped listening. This was just a typical Tom, let me get one of the boys out of trouble. Let me intercept and make a joke. Because like the bed sheets in my single bed in the basement of my mum's house, it's all becoming rather sticky for him. Then they spoke for a moment about Rose's living conditions. And Ed tells the story of the rat. He says, "I began to wonder, did I sleep with that thing? Did I roll over it in my sleep? Was it in the same room as me?" Every single possible scenario. Ed, here's a quick list of the scenarios that you missed. That the rat would bite Rose. That the rat would bite Prince. That the rat would be carrying terrible diseases around and make somebody in Rose's family ill. The scenario that you could possibly do something to help with the pest control. No, I thought not. And then Sean said, "Is there anything you love about Ed?" And Rose said, "Nothing, I want nothing more to do with him." And then Ed said, "I'm sorry." "Why are you sorry for? Apparently you did nothing wrong." "But it didn't work out. My feelings were sincere." "No, they weren't. And I wish Rose the best that life has to offer." An obvious lie. You've just tried to denigrate her by saying she was after your money, by having your daughter come in and attack her and her character, by telling everybody she wanted to get back with me. She's not the person that you think. And I think to myself, Sean, get a backbone. If you're going to be interviewing people, you've got to ask some difficult questions at some point. It's all very well people saying to me, "Oh, Ebird, TLC won't let her ask difficult questions." Honestly, just don't do the job then. Do not do the job. We all know how reality TV works. I watch Housewives. I watch so much trash you would never believe. And whenever they have reunions, Andy Cohen goes right in and digs right into the really difficult parts of the narrative. And they're dealing with real bona fide celebrities and multi-millionaires. You're dealing with a short bloke, a liar, and a couple of grandmas from down the road. Are you scared of those people, TLC? I don't buy it. I don't believe it. Most people are only on for 1 or 2 seasons. So if TLC managed to pee you off, what's the big deal? You pee off a Lisa Vanderpump, you're going to know about it. You peel off a Bethany Frankel, you're going to know about it. A Nene Leakes, you'll know about it. So if Bravo can step up and hold all of these people to account, you can sure as hell ask Big Ed why he's such a wanker. Thankfully, Erika's there to say he disrespects Rose and he disrespects her cultures. Avery says, "I just think it's all miscommunication." Avery, you're of extremely low intelligence. We all know that, so we're ignoring everything you say. And David comes in, and even David, as narrow-minded as some of you might think he is, he said he didn't respect Rose. He didn't even talk about children. That's the first thing you're going to speak about. Guys, I'm very upset because I feel like Ed has managed like a little slippery eel to wriggle out of this whole thing fairly intact. And Ed says he just wants to be Rose's friend. Ed, Rose shits out better friends than you on a daily basis. So my friends, tell me what you think. Did Ed manage to dodge a bullet? I think he did. Again, he was caught in so many lies, but we didn't manage to get any of them actually heard and aired. And what do we think to Tiffany? I think she's a chip off the old block, and not in a good way. So let me know what you think in comments down below. And next up I'm going to come back with Stephanie and Erika. Please don't forget to press subscribe and make Ebird a very happy Ebird. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Ebird99. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for letting me get all of this off my chest. I know it's a lot. Ciao for now.